road, welcome to another video on the Roads for You channel. In this video we are driving from Muiden to Putten. It's a long drive of 45 minutes. Well, a long drive is pretty relative, because for the Netherlands everything from an hour drive to 2 hours drive is considered very long, as our country is very small, of course. So it's a fun drive. I expect it not to be very busy on the road, because it's now 10:30 when I'm doing this live stream. At the moment there are zero live viewers. So if you're hearing me, if you're watching this later. You're watching the recap. So today is the 15th of December of 2025. This is like the fourth live stream I've done on this channel. Like I said in the other live streams, excuse me for my accent and for my English. I'm from Holland. So all the video, you are now seeing is in Holland itself, but my accent is a Dutch accent. I try to do my best to speak the best English that I can. However, I don't speak English that often, so I always need to think what I say. But I try to do my best. I always try to tell some stories of the roads I'm driving on. The things I see, etc. But this video is still some kind of a practice for me, so please bear with me. So we all need to learn how to do things, right? So we've now left Muiden, which is a city of 1,500 inhabitants. I'm one of them. I'm from Muiden. It's officially it's a city, but unofficially it's more like a town or a small village. The only reason it's called a city is because it got city rights back in medieval times, when the Lord built his castle. Lord Floris, Graaf Floris, we say. I don't know if Graaf is a lord in English, to be honest, but you get the picture. He was of nobility. It's pretty cold today. Well, not as cold as it should be, I think. It's like 6 degrees Celsius today. So it's not very cold, but it's not warm either. The car I'm driving is an old Saab 9000 from 1997, anniversary edition CSE 2.3 liters with a turbo engine. So it's quite fast. It still drives pretty nicely, although it almost has 400,000 kilometers. So it's quite an heavy used car. It drives on LPG, so it's pretty cheap to run, like 8 cents a kilometer. I did the math. It's cheaper than driving an electric car with the write-off and everything, because the write-off is like 500 euros a year. So we are now driving on the A1 from Amsterdam to Almere. So we are driving from the A1 to the A6. The A1 can be quite a busy road, especially in the opposite direction. But it's only pretty busy on the opposite direction during rush hour, which is like 2 hours ago. But maybe you can see it a little bit in this video. If you look to the left, you can see quite a lot of cars. They are all come to Amsterdam. lot of lorries, but also a lot of cars. In this direction, it's only busy during rush hour at like 5 p.m. when everyone is coming from Amsterdam and drives back to their homes in Almere, Lelystad, all that kind of places. And a lot of people work in Amsterdam, of course. So now we are driving to Putten. I don't come in Putten very often. Like I said in earlier live streams, I'm a real estate photographer. Well, I'm a photographer and a videographer. I also do weddings and events and all that kind of stuff. But most of the time I'm doing real estate photography, so I drive all across the country to make photos of houses that are going to be on sale, that are going to be for sale. So some roads I drive more often than other roads, but this is like the second or the third time I went to Putten. So now we've entered the A6, which goes all the way through the Flevopolder, which is like the largest artificial island in the world. It used to be on the bottom of the sea, the Zuiderzee, which they closed off from the North Sea in like the 1930s with the Afsluitdijk. And then the sea became a lake, and then the lake became land, like we Dutch do. We are still driving in North Holland, which is the province of Amsterdam and of course Muiden. So we are now entering the bridge that connects North Holland with Flevoland. So we are now entering Flevoland. Here on the right you can see the Flevomeer, which is the lake that used to be the Zuiderzee. So we are now driving on what used to be the bottom of the sea. We are like 6 meters, 7 meters below sea level now. So if the water ever rises again, we will be with our heads on the water. So here on the left you now can see a little bit of the city of Almere, which celebrates its 50th anniversary this year. I was born and raised here in Almere. When I was born, it was like a small city, very small city. But now it's, I believe, the 6th or 7th largest city in the Netherlands. So it grew a lot during all those years. It went from like a small city to a huge city with high-rise buildings and everything. We don't have skyscrapers here in the Netherlands. But I don't think that's a shame at all, because I think they're ugly. So please leave comments under these videos and let me know if I can do anything better. If there's something you like, or if there's something you don't like. The more comments I get, the more I learn, the better the videos will be in the future. Because I'm really just rambling around, driving around, because I don't have any experience in doing these kind of videos. So please let me know what can be improved in the next live stream. Like I said, if you can hear me now, you're watching this in the future, because there are 0 live views at this moment. I'm still building an audience, so it is expected to take a while to get an audience. Sometimes I get like 20 live viewers at one time after like 5 minutes of into the live stream. And other times I get like 3 viewers during the whole live stream of an hour. And it all depends on where I drive, at what time I drive, on what day I drive. I don't know how this works, so if you know, please leave me a comment. Also leave a like and subscribe to my channel. I also place a lot of other drives that you can see very fast with my dash cam. And I go to the car wash a lot. So on the left side there's the city of Almere, which you can't see anymore. Until like 6 years ago you could see the skyline of the city from here, but a few years ago, 2022, there was the World Expo for flowers. Was here on the right, on the left, which failed horribly and cost the city like 150 million euros. I think it's a shame they've done that. Nobody, well, hardly anybody visited the expo because it sucked horribly. Speaking of things that failed horribly here in Almere, if you wait a little bit, you can see here on the right, you can see an abandoned castle. Don't know if you can see it very clear, but I will show it to you. Here's the abandoned castle of Almere, which has a funny story. A few years ago, they had a plan to build a castle where you can get married, maybe a hotel in it, just some place you can do fun things in, maybe some events, business events, etc. However, they ran out of money. So 3 years into building this thing, they ran out of money, and now it's abandoned for like more than 20 years. It has been sold and bought over 3 times. But every time anyone comes with a great plan, then the city council says, no, we don't want it. There was one guy who wanted to build homes right over there. But the city council said, no, we have decided that this will be an event location. No homes will be built there. So now it still sits abandoned. And I'm thinking to myself, they could have used the 150 million euros they've used for this World Expo. They could have used it to build the castle and have a nice pretty castle here in the city. Because now one of the first things you see in the city is that stupid abandoned castle. So now we have left the highway and we are driving on the N305 road. Which is a road where you can only drive like 80 kilometers an hour. That's the maximum speed. It can be quite a busy road in the opposite direction when you get here in the evening. But most of the times it's quite, it's not that busy. It's quite quiet, to be honest. This used to be a dangerous road until like 5, 6, 7 years ago. It used to be a 1-lane road with on the other side cars going in the opposite direction. So if you overtake another car, then you could risk hiding head first into another car. So that was quite dangerous. And it's quite well known here in the Netherlands that the N roads are the most dangerous roads in our country. lots of accidents happen on the end roads. But all of this is like nature. I don't know if there are any plans to ever build something here, or this is like preserved to nature. I think the like a sanctuary for monkeys who were held as pets and all kinds of monkeys. I think over there is like preserved to be nature, because there's also cows living there and all that kind of animals, which you can visit for free. So if you're ever in the city of Almere and you would like to see some monkeys, go to the Kempaan. There you have Stichting Aap, which is like a project for sad monkeys. I think it's a good cause. I think it's sad to use monkeys as pets. So we still have 0 viewers on the live stream. So I'm glad you are watching this later, because otherwise I would feel very, very sad. So now we are almost leaving the city of Almere. We still have a little bit of Almere left. Here on the right you can see the industrial terrain of Almere with a lot of companies. Also PostNL, which is our post office. So we are still driving on the N305 road with 80 kilometers an hour, which is the maximum speed limit here, because of all the traffic lights. Like the one in front of us, which has turned red, so we need to stop. I love it when it's quiet on the road. I hate it when it's crowded. So here on the left you can see a few windmills. Not the beautiful kind of windmills we are known for in the rest of the world, but these are the windmills we use to get power. But I don't think they look very pretty. I think they can be made more pretty, but well, it is what it is. We need electricity, right? So now we enter another road, which is the N704. You can drive 80 kilometers an hour. That's the maximum speed limit. However, later on this road, we can drive 100 kilometers an hour. But that's not at this point. So what's happening? Whoa! That lorry spewed like a lot of black smoke. It sounds very bad. I think he's in trouble. Listen! Oh damn it. So now we can drive 100 kilometers an hour, which is now the speed limit. he's in trouble. His truck doesn't sound right. His lorry. So now I've set my cruise control on 100 kilometers an hour. Let's just take a drive and enjoy the view. Because now we are surrounded by farmland. Because, and this is an interesting story, Flevoland was originally planned to be the farmland of the Netherlands because we needed more farmland. The Netherlands after World War II wanted to be independent for its food resources. So we needed more farmland, and that's why we built Flevoland. That's one of the reasons. However, now we use other countries here in the European Union, so the need for more farmland land has decreased. So now we are building more cities in the Netherlands. So I think the plan is to build more houses here in Flevoland, including in Almere and in Lelystad. So we will reduce most of the farmlands here in Flevoland. Because there's a housing shortage here in our country. I hate it when lorries overtake each other with like 1 kilometers an hour. But I've heard from a lorry driver that it's necessary to do so because of the laws in our country, which says you can only drive for a certain amount of hours. So if you get behind to your schedule, you're not getting 1 minute later, but you get 4 hours later on your destination. So that's why it's important for them to overtake whenever they can. At least that's what I heard. I'm not a lorry driver. I'm a photographer and a videographer. I also make video. So now we need to go to the left. Oh, I've took the wrong. Oh no, I'm driving the wrong way, and I always do it at this point because my navigation says turn right, but it says it on the wrong direction. Shoot. Well, it isn't that big of a problem because this road connects to the main road here on the left. So if we overtake that tractor, then we shouldn't have that much of a problem. I always find them very imposing because of the huge tires they have and all the pointy things they can poke my car with, which I don't like. Like I said, a lot of farmland over here and windmills and electricity wires. So it's everything we need, right? Electricity and food. So we take the tour. We take the tourist route. The tourist routes. So we should have driven on the N301, but now we are driving on the road next to it. I don't know what this road is called, but I don't like this at all because it doesn't seem to connect to the main road. I hate it when I drive the wrong direction. So yeah, now we're stuck on this farm road because I took the wrong exit. But yeah, this can be interesting as well, isn't it? Farmland, roads and windmills. On a cloudy day, it doesn't get more Dutch than this. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I'm just rambling what I see, what I think, because to be honest, I don't know what to say, what to tell an audience. I'm not really used to this, so if you got any ideas of what I can do better, please don't hesitate to let me know in the comments, because I want to learn and I want to make better videos for you. Because that's what Roads for You is all about. Okay, so now we can enter the main road again. So we need to go to the left when we're past this gas station. We go on the roundabout here on the left. It's also illegal to go further on the farm roads. So now we've entered the N301 road. This is a typical example of what I said earlier, that this is quite a dangerous road because you can drive 100 kilometers an hour, that's the speed limit, but you also have traffic in the opposite direction, as you can see here on the left. But it's also legal to overtake a car or a lorry or anything that's in your way. But if you make a mistake and do it on the wrong moment, then you will have a head-on collision with the cars on the left. And it happens very often, especially in the dark. So I'm never overtaking here on these kind of roads because I'm always a little bit scared to get a head-on collision. I only overtake on roads like this when it's absolutely safe, when there's absolutely no one and I'm absolutely irritated by the person in front of me, when he's driving like 60 kilometers an hour. So now the speed limit is reduced to 80 kilometers an hour, and that's because of this bridge. This bridge is very small, as you can see, so it's quite it can be quite dangerous, especially when there's a lot of wind and a lot of trucks, lorries. I'm sorry, I'm trying to use the English word for trucks, which is lorry. So that's why I said lorry. So I think we have left Flevoland now. Yes, we have left Flevoland. This is still the N301. So now we go on the roundabout. And let's drive this scenic route through the Netherlands. Lots of farmlands over here. Here you have more like farmlands, nature, that kind of things than where I'm from. Because that's called the Randstad, where you've got like all the big cities quite close to each other. So there it gets quite busy and you see lots of houses, buildings, industrial sites, that kind of things. But now we are more driving into like where there's more nature, more farmland, and it's also more quiet than in the rest of the country. That's where Putten is. But first we need to stop for this traffic light, and I think we need to stop for the other traffic light as well, because here it seems to be quite busy. Quite a busy road. So you can hear the engine of my Saab 9000. I always love it when the engine goes raw. Okay, so it's a one lane road. Still the N301. I don't know what the town or city is called where we're driving through. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I don't drive in this direction very often. However, I need to take photos of a house in Putten because I'm a real estate photographer, like I said earlier in the live stream. So here it seems to be quite busy. I think we are already in Putten. You see it on the signs. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm very bad in orientation. I always drive on navigation because I never know where I'm driving. I don't have a map in my head. I'm always driving on navigation. However, I always get home from everywhere in Europe because I just follow all the signs that says Amsterdam on it. Then I get home. So if you just drive through all the big cities, then you get home after a while. So we get to the left on the roundabout, and then we have now entered the N798 road. And the speed limit is 80 kilometers an hour. However, that sign, that blue sign, says be careful, drive 50 kilometers an hour, because otherwise you can get an accident. And we don't want to have an accident, so let's take it slow. Did you see the castle on the left, on the right earlier? I think that's very nice. I hope to one day take photos of a castle like that. But a man can only hope, right? So a lot of nature near. It's I think it's a beautiful scenery around this part of the country. I think it's much better than the Randstad. However, you are living in the middle of nowhere, which is also relative because everything in the Netherlands you can drive to in like 2-3 hours max. It's not a big country. And if you are on the road that often as I do, then the Netherlands feels like one big city. Sometimes it does. A lot of old farms here, like built in the 19th century, which I think is beautiful, really beautiful. And some of them also have most of the original elements in the houses. So they are also beautiful on the inside, not only on the outside. Like the farm here on the left side. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a typical Dutch farm. So we are still driving on the N798 with a speed limit of 80 kilometers an hour. And I appreciate it when people drive the speed limit, unlike the people that are driving in front of me, because now we are driving 60. And I hate it when we can drive the speed limit. However, I think that is because of the lorry in front of us, because he has created a traffic jam behind him. He's driving very slow. Maybe he's heavy loaded. I don't know. Really lots of farmland over here. Now I'm curious to the house I'm going to. Maybe it is a beautiful farm. Maybe. I think in autumn this must be a beautiful place to drive to because of all the leaves and the brown colors and everything. But now it's just grey because it's winter now. Well, is it winter? Well, just a few days. But it feels like winter already. But I don't like the cold. That's why in a few weeks, in like 4 weeks, I'm going to Spain and south of Europe for 3 months. And of course I will drive I will make a live stream of the whole drive from the Netherlands to Spain. So buckle up for that. Because that's a long drive. I'm still practicing what to do during that live stream. So if I can do anything better, if I can improve anything, like talking less, talking more, talking about other things that interest you, please let me know in the comments, and also leave a like and subscribe to my channel, because that's the only way this channel can be online. Because if nobody watches the videos, then there is no point making these videos. I always a little bit afraid of crossing the railway tracks. I never trust them. I'm always thinking in the back of my head, what if a train comes suddenly and I'm stuck on the railroad and I'm stuck in my car, what to do next? Luckily that never happened, and I hope it never will. Also typical Dutch behavior, still trying to go on a bicycle even when it rains, when it's cold, when there's heavy wind. We always go on our bicycles. However, the Netherlands have a pretty impressive bicycle lane system, which you can see here on the right. There's no place in Holland or in the Netherlands in general where you can't get with your bicycle. And a lot of people do bicycle through the whole of the country. I think if you are a good cyclist, you can do it in like 2 days, the whole country, from north to south. But you need to practice first, because otherwise your legs will hurt a lot. So we are almost at our destination. Beautiful church over there. Interesting design. I don't know if Putten is in what we call our Bible Belt. I think it does actually. So I expect to see a lot more churches. The Netherlands isn't that much of a Christian country anymore. Most of the people living here in the country don't believe in anything at all, are atheists. But you have certain parts of the Netherlands where the majority of the people is still Christian. And I think Putten is one of those cities. But I'm not for sure. Where I'm from, most of the people are atheists. But it really depends on where you go in Netherlands and where you live. Even some parts of some cities are different. So now we are in Putten. For a while now, but now I've said it, so now it's official. It isn't that much of a city. It's more like a small city or maybe a big town. I think they do have pretty houses. I've seen a lot of pretty old houses, which look very nice. You can see a few examples of them here on the right side. So more modern homes here on the left. Now a pretty old home here on the left. Well, I don't know if it's that old, but that house is like from the 1930s. See on the architecture of the house. So a lot of old houses here. We need to go to the right. Here on the roundabout. Let's wait for another car. Now we go to the right. And here you see the sign of Putten. So now we've entered Putten officially. This is like the city center of Putten. I don't think I've ever been here. Maybe one day, but I can't remember that much of it. Just your typical Dutch town. So let's go to the left, which is a dead-end road, so I don't know if I can park over there. Because my destination is here on the left. But that's only private parking. I think I can just park here on the right. Well, let's just park here on the right and call it a day. well, that was pretty nice. So the house here on the left, you can't see it, but I can see it. The house here on the left is my destination. It will be for sale in like 1 or 2 weeks. So if you're watching this video and it's still for sale, lucky you. If you're watching this video and it's gone, it's gone. Okay, thank you for watching this live stream. I hope you enjoyed it. If you got any tips or tricks for me, please leave it in the comments. I'm still learning how to do these kind of videos. Also subscribe to my channel and give a like, as that will help me very much growing the channel. Like I said, thank you for watching and I will see you the next time. Bye bye.